let's get started. We're gonna start doing some more content grind on this Store and Liberty MMO that's coming out soon. Gonna do some reacts to a couple of YouTube videos, see what's going on, and then probably look at Pax Dei next. The next MMO that I did want to check out. Um, but I did want to watch a few more videos of Store and Liberty before jumping into Pax Dei.
Welcome back to another Throne Unlimited video. My name is Tensho and today I'm going to be watching a video from Steparu, huge fan of his work. He has uploaded a PvP video showcasing what it's like to PvP whilst fighting an open world boss. And I'm going to watch it with you guys and explain what's going on, just to give you guys a sneak peek of what the game has to offer when the game actually comes out. So you can watch this and see if the game is right for you and does it hype you up for the full game. We'll see. Okay, so starting off, we have a level 32 open world boss right now. Easily getting challenged by 100 players around here, all of the same friendly guild. But they get ambushed by an enemy guild with what, like 10 people? 10 of them? Only 10. So they're gonna have like 10 against 100. So this archer suddenly dashed in and stealths away, which is really nice because you can't find him anymore. He just stealths. That's cheating.
I like that it's like a very open stuff. Gives you the feel of BDO, most definitely. Um, you got your stuff here. I see your I guess like 3 food, whatever. That 3 food buffs. Obviously your attacks, right? Your combos stuff. Um, and there's some other moves here, I guess. Well, part of your combo set. So basically, full bar right here, hacks and stuff. There seems to be other things here, as well. Do here as well. Maybe a special move as well to E. So E special general station move stuff that you get. Pretty cool.
So what's basically happening right now is Steparu, the player who's playing right now, and his guilds are trying to take on this open world boss and get ambushed. Right now they're trying to fight back. Otherwise, if they don't fight back, then they'll just die. For some reason, Steparu is still in his mount form, but changes out of his mount form, pulls this dude in, and everyone focused him down in one go. And then now he just jumps in again, gets stunned, gets CC'd, uses the block defense, uses the defense skill on the Greysword, I think. Blocked a couple of shots, which is beautiful, but now he's like getting dotted. He's gonna die soon if no one heals him. So this is pretty good as a player who, if you're unfamiliar with like mass PvP, like
I like
so
that.
many
So
people
this,
focusing on the same
if you
time.
guys noticed, he is a sword and shield class, and as well as a healer class. So he's a tank healer, which is really nice because in these kind of situations, let's say you don't have any very limited healers around, um, like what he just did right now, he can heal himself, get back in formation, continue his attack, and so on and so forth. But it's pretty cool, like the fact that this game is different from other games where you're used to having one single class. This one is two. So now you get to master 2 classes at the same time. Pretty awesome. I mean, I haven't heard of any other games like that. My experience, but the first for me, where you can combine 2 class abilities together and sort of make your own unique class. And if there's only like let's say 6 classes, right, or 6 like basic classes, that those 6 classes can get transformed to 24 classes. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Then it will be overwhelming sometimes, but obviously, if you get used to it.
And obviously, some of the classes, if you guys don't know, sword and shield. There's a one-handed swordman class of that. There's a ranger, And there's um, a spear, I believe, well in the game. There's a few different classes to play with, and what's great about this game is like I said, you can own your weapons just like any other game, and if let's say you decide that you don't want to use the weapon in any class, you can take and swap that weapon level, swap it over to another weapon, and just it's like you basically don't have to start all over, swap over, and you just keep going. So it's just pretty awesome.
It'll be just like an ordinary game, which is really good because it's kind of exciting to see so many people on the screen at the same time, and it's like having a. To be honest, this is not even like overwhelming. There's only like what 10 people fighting, like 10v10 happening right there. Imagine having a proper full-out siege where there's like 200 of you against the enemy.
I don't know if it's 10 10. I feel like it's more like 20 on 20 right now. I mean, obviously the dots can kind of give you, but if you look at all the name stuff, there's way more than that. Right here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19. And then you got all these different little other things going around, enemies, bounce. I think they, but yeah, it looks like this.
And then like another 200 people. That would be even crazy.
Yeah, see, there's like a whole stack over here. There's like at least 40 people here.
So right now, Steparu is running around because he used up all his health. Used up all his potions, and there's nobody around to heal him.
Oh, so so when he healed himself, he didn't actually use. Yeah, I thought he was a tank healer. That's one of the classes that. Um, but I guess it was just a potion.
Nobody's using the one class or the one weapon to do the support healing. So he has to run around, wait for his health to regen a bit, and use some pots whenever they come off cooldown. And whenever they do, Steparu just jumps back in with his team, and just starts killing the enemy. Oh, there's this crystallized shield.
What I don't like is that
sort of
you see how he's like very mobile and active and stuff, and then everyone else is just kind of like stationary and everything, and they're not really like. I mean, I don't know if they're bots or whatever, because their movement's kind of weird, but
probably still focus.
like if you see their movement, some of them kind of move all in a straight line. Some of them were wearing like the same outfit. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are gonna have the same outfit in the beginning, but I don't know, it's just a weird movement. But either way, like you would want to see like if he's running off, like you want him getting chased, you want to see him get chased down. I feel like he's just like he's in combat, does a few things, steps out, and then no.
Focus on the boss. You don't want to lose the aggro. You don't want to lose the loot. So now Steparu wanted to PvP again. He just jumps back in straight into the fray and starts focusing down these players. Wow, they die. People die real easily once you focus them. So he's going in on this ranger.
And he mean by focus, he means like 3 people on one guy getting destroyed.
But obviously, 1v1, you have no DPS to burst them down. Right now, this dude is getting killed. Got pulled and stunned and CC'd on the spot. Got focused down by like 10 people at the same time. Died instantly. And now they're chasing off the enemy. This guy runs into the zone. And he got scared, he ran back out. Dude, if you see like 100 people here, why would you even step in here? So,
well,
there's no threat. The ambush party doesn't.
This is what they were talking about earlier, where there are like field bosses and stuff that are available for everybody, and a guild can come and try to attack and kill the boss, get possible good reward. But the only downfall to this is that another guild come and ambush you and attack you and try to kill you and get rewards from you and also boss. Now, I don't know how much, like how how many people can actually join. If it's a 1v1 guild, like how does that even cap it? Like how does it even lock people out of it? You know what I mean? Like once you engage in this field boss, right? You're in the open field, right? Anyone can come area, right? Single players, guild members, group can just come to this location. So what I'm thinking is, will it be all out guild war, like multiple guilds all fighting? Like how far will it go? You know what I mean? Like I'm sure if a guild is happen to travel over there and they happen to see guilds fighting for that, it's gonna be a toss up of whether they want to engage in the fight, wait until they're weak and then finish the second, the winning team off, or not engage because they're just like, well, trains are probably dry. People probably end up crashing out. Too many people in one location. But then you gotta think about like how many people are actually gonna be in the server. How many guilds are in the server. So it's like there might be a lot of field bosses. So it won't just be this one. It'll be like 10 more of them or 20 more of them. So it's a chance to spread all the guilds around. So it's not like everyone's invested into like 2 bosses and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I can imagine like 10 guilds attacking boss simultaneously. You know what I mean? Like it would just be never ending. I mean, like I'm pretty sure once you die, you can revive yourself and come back. And if you're feeling vengeful, you're gonna go back to the boss fight, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, how does it stop you? Like, let's say you're engaging in this fight or whatever, and you die. Where do you go? On same spot? Like, is it just like infinite, depending on how much revives you have? You know what I mean? Let's say people have like, then that's when it becomes a little pay to win or something like that because people can buy, let's say, stuff off the marketplace, buy themselves. Even if there is a limit, they still have a little bit of more of a advantage. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. For me, it's like I really want to see how this plays out because I want to know how do you know you won? You know?
Doesn't want to fight anymore, and then you can just focus down the boss. Obviously, scanning around, panning your camera around, checking for
The
any
battle has broken
enemies.
with
You can
guild.
focus all up. They're coming in again. So Steparu and the team jumps back in to fight. Tries to focus down the enemies one by one, of course. This guy's low. Let's finish him off.
So it's
Oh,
like
he potted. Or somebody healed him. He turned into a mount and turned into a chicken and ran away.
how there's a
Literally
barrier
chicken.
around the thing.
Wow. Seeing people just have
So I'm not
no
sure if like
heals
you're
is
supposed
so
to
crazy.
break that barrier,
Like I
and then
remember back
that
in
allows you
Lineage
to come
2,
in.
you have heals who literally spam heal like there was no cooldown, and it was almost impossible to kill anybody because they'll just heal you non-stop and nobody dies.
Definitely gonna
Even
be a
if
heal
you're
there, and I
DPS
think
and you
that's just
spam abilities,
automatic
you don't die
because
because the heal was just too
you need to
powerful.
have a healer.
But in this game, heal has
I'm gonna be
huge
like,
cooldown, and so does
I'm
all
gonna
the
make sure
finishes
my
as
healing
well.
is like so beast.
Oh my god, Steparu's gonna die? Okay. Steparu overextended, got focused down and died. Okay, so you lose EXP on death and you can restore your EXP with whatever these are. So from what it looks like, Steparu had like 15% EXP to recover. I'm not sure if all that 15% was just from that one death, or was that like
See,
over
he
3
goes to a
deaths.
town.
Each death
Okay, so he gets to
means
respawn
losing
in the
5
nearest town or
seconds.
whatever, and
So
then he has
this
the
guy
option to
just looks
teleport. I guess
where he
back to
can
his
be.
guild.
So this is just like a little piece, a little slice of the pizza to give you like a taste of what the PvP what PvP is like in this game. For someone like me who's played Lineage 2, it does brings
Yeah, so you
back
can
good
come back. See what
memories
I mean? This is what I
because
was
it was
saying.
similar
Like,
to
it's never
this
ending then.
in Lineage 2.
I mean,
Except
obviously, it's
much more
like,
chaotic,
how do you know you
much more
won?
laggy,
And then
not
at
like 2
at one
FPS.
point,
So now this boss is actually going down. It's almost at like what, 10 to 15% health. So I'm not sure how the loot is distributed. I will find out about more of that when the game comes out. So right now these enemies just don't stop coming into the zone and
It's
push
amazing.
the party. I mean, obviously this is just a beta test. They're not gonna give a shit what happens. They just want to play the game. Just want to try out the PvP. But it's good to see how stuff like this can happen in the game.
Really wants to be the
We
best.
need, the enemy team needs like a much bigger Zerg. Needs like way much. They only like 10 of them. They need like 100 of them charging in. That's when the fun begins. Right now it's heavily one-sided, so I mean it's good just to see what it's like. So now this guy, the enemy just got stun locked in place, cannot move. Dude, if you're in the middle of like 50 people, of course you're gonna get stun locked and die.
One thing that
Okay,
sucks is
the
that
boss
the
is
people that
almost
are
dead.
testing it are probably going to
2%
keep their
left.
names. Maybe. Depending
Finish it off.
on what test you're doing.
Okay, now it's dead.
Want to get your name in there before everyone takes all the good names. Or your name that you want. Put it that way.
Okay.
That's my biggest fear is like I need to have my names. I don't know where to take them.
And now, after the boss dies, just go back to PvP.
Oh, so the boss dies. We don't really know how the wars are just
It's pretty good.
because we don't see any.
This is just.
Well, there's a big symbol next to the boss. I wasn't sure if you're supposed to pick something up.
Above people's players are like signs of who are enemies. If they're red or orange, then they're enemy. If they're yellow or green, then they're your own players.
So the fight keeps going even after the boss fights.
He died. I like it. So this is the PvP zone. If you go past this crystal shield, then you enter the PvP zone, which is really nice. Because in that case, it'll stop all the long range casters and archers from sniping and poking. If they want to fight, they have to go through the shield. I mean, go through the barrier. And your characters, your team, you could also be standing at the barrier waiting for them to pop in. So if
Look at them. They just like pop it in and out of the barrier, just like sniping.
Stun lock them and
They're not even trying to fight. They're just trying to like snipe.
it's pretty interesting. The more plays, the better. So this just gives you. So this pretty much tells you like. For those who played Lineage 2 back in the days, this is what Throne and Liberty is all about. Basically, it's the revamped version of Lineage 2, basically. So, for you guys who miss those moments, who are very fond of mass PvP, then Throne Liberty, I think, is the game. Definitely the one that I'm going to be playing because, God, Lineage 2 is my favorite MMOrpg. So, I think the boss is dead now. I don't know what's going on anymore. People's just chilling. Yo, this guy just casted rain. He changed the weather. Wow, so he actually recorded that? So some guy manually changed the weather to rain. And when you change weather, it causes different effects to happen around the area. So things will flood up. Maybe your lightning skills will do more damage. Will probably spread and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty good to see, actually, when I play the game. But
Yeah, it seems pretty good. You know what I mean? Like overall, um, PvP doesn't seem too bad. You know what I mean? Like there's obviously like this mass PvP and people are all kind of fighting to kill this field boss. It's pretty cool. Oh, the new video.
Here's all of the character customization options at the.
Oh yeah. Anything else? Let's see if there's any. This is 2 hours ago. So let's look at some of the classes because
Here is an exciting new
I
MMOrpg
don't know all of
throwing
them,
Liberty with
or
a
some of them.
bunch of their new weapon classes to learn about, but are they any good? Here's a quick 30-second recap on this game. It's an upcoming MMOrpg from NC Soft. It's meant to have large-scale raids, a dynamic open world, and PvP, but in the first beta they had for it, the gameplay was absolutely roasted by the testers for being too static and stale. Well, they vowed to do a load of changes and fixes, and the community seems happy with the potential in those changes, but there hasn't been hands-on yet. It doesn't release in the West until 2024, but there is the upcoming Korean launch in December. This brings us now to the developers who have released several different videos of the different weapons in action within the game. The weapons function as your class, as they give you different abilities and masteries based on which one you have equipped.
My class right there, baby.
You would take something like the sword and shield. Meanwhile, if you wanted to be a magic caster, then obviously you would go for something like the staff. Luckily, you can have two of these weapons equipped at a single time and swap between them and their skills. So with 7 different weapons, let's go through them. First up, the sword and shield. This is for those of you that like to play the tank, and it offers a balance of both offense and defensive skills. It has skills and abilities that allow you to crowd control, possibly including a taunt ability to draw enemy aggro, and you also get access to various different shields and buffs that will let you sustain damage skills like the shield survival technique and impregnable. Then
Yeah.
Daggers on the other side of the spectrum for people still wanting
Like, sword and shield is gonna be my class, and obviously I'm gonna do healer because that's just, I always like healer, like a sword. So that's just, to be able to combine them both into one is just like you're just giving me everything that I want and need. So hopefully, like I said, the game does come out very soon for the West, so that we can actually play it and test it out and start grinding.
melee. The daggers are focused on stealth and single target damage. If you want to deal a ton of damage, then this class is one that will probably be for you, as its skills allow you to apply poison on every attack you deal, buff your critical and overall damage, and you'll be happy to hear that you can even slip out of attacking with a camouflage cloak ability. This weapon is for the assassin type players out there. Then you have the greatsword, another melee weapon, but this time it's focused on dealing more area of effect damage. The trick with this weapon class is that your attacks will hit multiple enemies in a single swing, so you want to ensure that you
I was thinking about this class too.
Dealing increased damage that proc from hitting multiple targets with skills like courageous battering. The weapon also has access to a ton of skills that inflict crowd control, such as stuns, and some of these skills get increased damage to stunned enemies. But if melee combat just doesn't tickle you the right way, then you will have access to a number of ranged weapons, and the longbow is one of them. This is a ranged weapon that allows for massive damage from a distance, but something to keep in mind is the scenarios in the dynamic world of the game means that your arrows are impacted by wind, so you will need to account for the wind's direction when taking your shots. There are lots of skills for this weapon that benefit from dealing increased damage, as well as bonuses from the further away that you hit a target. Don't worry about the enemy closing the gap on you, as you also have skills that have a chance to bind your target in place once hit. So if you want to be someone like, say, Legolas, then this one might be for you. And then next we have another one similar to the longbow, but this time you have the ability to unleash rapid volleys of arrows using your dual-wielded crossbows. For this one, you can remain mobile while also executing your attacks. This allows
That's the one I saw with like a gun, dude.
This weapon is all about mobility and sustain, with skills that allow you to move fast and
like a pistol, dude.
Easily. Think John Wick, but in ye oldie fantasy times. Quite like the look of this one. But if you're waiting for the magic casters, then here it is with the first of two
same thing, dude.
in the game. If
You got a
you're
gun,
looking for
dude.
Support and defensive weapon, then this is where the wand and tome steps in. This weapon allows you to inflict debuffs on enemies through curses, and a lot of the skills have dual functions, giving you support benefits such as healing or damage buffs to your party members. This is probably the closest thing you'll get to a healer class within the game. And while playing support is cool and very helpful, sometimes you just want to be a magic boy and cast massive spells that rain down hellfire on enemies. The staff is that weapon in this one, with AoE ranged magic attacks that allow you to cover a large area of effect. You'll be able to control the elements by using attacks such as Chain Lightning and Inferno Wave, letting you dish out some epic damage. Dealing damage with certain skills will also leave a dot on enemies, dealing damage over time to them for even more powerful attacks.
I like the
Also,
clashes are
you
not
can
gender
have
locked.
skills that reduce your cooldown time and increase your damage uptime. So if you want to do flashy magic attacks from afar, the staff is definitely the one, and I think I may end up picking this. But these are all of the weapons so far, so let us know what you think of them and which ones you like the look of. But also tell us what you think about the game in general, as it has had a bit of a rocky beta period. We're going to leave you with the full video of all of these different weapons in action so you can get a better feel of them. We've also linked a spreadsheet with a list of skills from the Throne and Liberty guild called Elysian, which are absolutely fantastic, so check that out too. But for now, here's the gameplay.
How do you be a tank healer? That's what I need to know. That's the build I
이번
want.
영상에서는 마법봉에 대해 알아보겠습니다. 마법봉은 다양한 저주 스킬로 적을 약화시키고 치유 스킬과 방어 증가 스킬로 아군을 지원하는 전투가 특징입니다. 치유 스킬을 사용하여 사냥 유지력과 전투 유지력이 뛰어납니다. 혼돈의 보호막은 스태미나를 소모하여 적의 공격을 방어할 수 있는 스킬입니다. 경로 공격을 방어하면 대상에게 절망의 손길 효과를 부여하고 자신이 보유한 저주 스킬의 남은 재사용 대기 시간을 감소시킵니다. 또한 일정 시간 내에 경로 공격을 방어하면 주변 파티원들의 스태미나를 회복합니다. 절망의 손길은 일정 시간 동안 지속 피해를 입히는 저주를 적용하는 스킬입니다. 저주는 중첩에 비례한 지속 피해를 입히며 수면 대상을 깨우지 않습니다. 저주 폭발은 자신이 적용한 저주가 있는 대상에게 사용 시 특별한 효과가 발동되는 스킬입니다. 대상이 저주, 착화, 중독 등 지속 피해를 받고 있는 경우 즉시 피해로 치환합니다. 그리고 지속 피해 효과 중첩을 모두 해제합니다. 신속한 치유는 모든 대상의 생명력을 회복하는 스킬입니다. 회복량은 기본 피해에 비례합니다. 부패 마력지는 시전 위치를 지정해 영역을 생성하는데요. 영역 내 모든 적에게 지속 피해를 입히는 저주를 적용합니다. 악몽의 수렁은 일정 확률로 이동 속도와 공격 속도를 감소시킨 후 수면 상태를 부여합니다. 수면 대상을 공격하게 되면 치명타로 적중하고 수면이 해제됩니다. 클레이의 구원은 일정 범위 내 모든 파티원의 생명력을 회복시켜주는 스킬입니다. 한 번에 모든 파티원을 치유할 수 있는 마법봉의 핵심 스킬입니다.
They can all party members at once?
일정 확률로 스킬 피해 저항을 감소시키는 저주를 부여하는 스킬인데요. 저주에 걸리면 아군의 공격에도 더 치명적인 상태가 되기 때문에 유용하게 사용할 수 있습니다. 은총의 결계는 시간에 따라 추가 효과를 부여하는 스킬인데요. 사용 시 방어를 대폭 증가시켜주며 낮에는 받는 스킬 회복량을, 밤에는 인내력을 추가로 증가시켜줍니다. 그리고 발동 후 잠시 동안 효과량이 3배로 높게 적용됩니다. 악연의 연문은 일정 확률로 자신이 적용한 저주를 주변 대상들에게 전파시키는 스킬인데요. 대상에게 적용된 저주를 최대 3개까지 전파시킬 수 있습니다. 재앙의 광선은 방향을 지정하여 사거리 내 모든 적을 지속 공격하는 스킬입니다. 수면 상태인 적을 공격해도 깨어나지 않고 이동 시 스킬이 종료됩니다. 활성 스킬은 퀵슬롯에 등록만 해두면 별도로 사용하지 않아도 상시 적용되는 스킬입니다. 마법봉의 전투 스타일과 어울리는 효과들을 가지고 있습니다.
Okay. So your moves and everything you put in your quick slot, obviously.
두 가지 소개해드리겠습니다. 마법봉의 응징의 시간으로 스킬 피해 저항을 감소시킨 후 악몽의 수렁으로 수면을 적용합니다. 동시에 악연의 연문은 주변 대상에게도 전파시키고 지옥불 운석과 폭염의 파장으로 한 번에 제압할 수 있습니다.
Fire and heat waves, hellfire meteorites, what the heck?
응징의 시간으로 스킬 피해 저항을 감소시키고 악몽의 수렁으로 이동
Time and death, move speed into a swamp of nightmares, applies reduction and sleep.
바람 강탈자와 필멸의 표식을 남겨 추가
Mark
효과를
when stealer
받고
immortality receive additional effects, deals damage to sleeping enemies with a beam of disaster.
이외에도 TL에는
There are also
다양한
various
모델이
weapons, so
있으니
you can
자신만의
use your
무기
own weapon
조합으로
combination.
즐기시기
Hope you
바랍니다.
enjoy insurance. That's interesting. Pretty fast. Alright, cool. Got the quick
이번
summary.
영상에서는 단검에 대해 알아보겠습니다.
We learn about Dagger. Dagger, the character by combat that assassinates the target with additional damage using poison itself.
빠른 시간 안에
instantaneous
적을 암살할 수
skills.
있도록 치명타 관련 스킬을
Alright,
다수
characters are
보유하고
weird.
있습니다.
Has a number of critical
암습의
strike-related
태세는
skills, so it can be
스태미나를
assassinate the
소모하여
enemy in a short
적의
period of
공격을
time.
강화할 수 있는 스킬인데요.
Yeah, like you're an
경로
assassin
공격을
class,
강화하면
basically.
일정 시간 동안 은신하여 적으로부터
You're
타깃이
stealthy, you
해제되고
can
독비수 스킬로
freaking go
전환됩니다.
cloak mode.
독비수 스킬을 사용하면
by
범인의
poison, like,
대상에게 피해를 입히며
yeah,
독
you're the
효과를
special class.
부여합니다. 포식자 발톱은 단일 대상에게 피해를 입히는 스킬입니다. 자신이 적용한 저주, 착화, 중독 피해를 입고 있는 대상에게는 피해가 증폭됩니다. 그림자 습격은 대상의 반대편으로 순간
So you
이동하며
can do
강력한 피해를
curses,
입히는
shadow
스킬입니다.
attack that
먼
teleports you
거리에서도 대상을 습격할 수 있는 단검의
right to the
핵심
enemy,
스킬입니다.
dealing a lot of powerful
맹독
damage.
주입은 사용 시 모든 공격에 독효과를
Set
부여해주는
your
스킬인데요.
poison,
독은
got a lot of poison
중첩되면
attacks,
지속 피해를 입히고 대상의 생명력 재생을
curses,
정지시키는 특수 효과가 있습니다.
teleportations,
잔혹한 절개는 대상에게
cloaking.
강력한 공격을 가하는 스킬입니다. 대상의 남은 생명력이 일정 수치 이하라면 치명타가 대폭
like
증가합니다.
critical strike,
기수 날리기는 지정한 방향으로 단검을 여러 개 투척하는 스킬인데요. 먼
daggers.
거리에서도 사용할 수 있으며 각각의 단검은 피해를 입힌 후 일정 확률로 대상의 이동 속도를 감소시킵니다. 발목 타격은 스킬 사용 중 멈춰서 대상을 공격하여 피해를 입히는 스킬입니다. 대상이 기절, 속박, 수면 상태라면 일정 확률로 넘어짐을 유발할 수 있습니다. 은신의 망토는 일정 시간 동안 은신하여
Focus cell allows you to
적이
remain hidden
자신을
up for a short
타겟할
period
수
of time,
없도록
prevent
하는
enemies from
스킬인데요.
targeting you. The
은신
skill that prevents
상태에서 첫
damage.
공격은
While in
치명타로
stealth mode, the
접근하고
first attack is a
공격이나
critical
변신 시
hit, and when
은신을
attacking and
해제됩니다.
transforming, self is cancelled.
풍령은 범인의 모든 적을 공격하는 스킬입니다.
It is a skill that
자신의
attacks all
중독시킨
enemies of the Black
대상에게는
Wind
두
Spirit,
번의 추가
criminal,
공격을
and makes two
가합니다.
additional attacks on the
죽음의
target. It has
날개는 일정
poison.
시간 후 큰 피해를 입히는
It is a skill that
스킬인데요.
inflicts great
자신이
damage after a certain
중독시킨
period of
대상의
time. When you are
중첩에
poisoned,
따라
the additional
추가
damage is
피해가
amplified
증폭됩니다.
depending on the target's poison
강간의
stack.
칼춤은 대상에게
Frenzy
최대
Sword
7의
Dance
연속 공격을 가하는 스킬입니다.
is a skill that
만약
deals
공격
maximum
대상
damage to the
주변에
target in
다른 적이
succession,
있다면
and if there are other
공격을
enemies around the
분산하여
attack
사용합니다.
target, the attack is
활성
distributed.
스킬은 픽슬롯에
Use it,
등록만에
activate the
두면
skill, a skill that
별도로
always
사용하지
applied in
않아도
if you don't
상시
use it separately as long as you
적용되는
register in the
스킬입니다.
quick
단검의
slot.
전투 스타일과 어울리는
It has
효과들을
effects that
가지고
match the
있습니다.
combat style of the
마지막으로
dagger.
단검과 어울리는 무기
Lastly, I will
조합은 두 가지
introduce two weapon
소개해드리겠습니다.
combinations that
맹독
match the
주입으로
dagger.
공격에 독효과를 부여하여 대상의 생명력 재생을 중지시키는
After stopping the
그림자
dagger's
습격으로
vitality,
진입하여
regeneration, it
충격파,
enters the
발목
shadow
타격
attack.
스킬로 연계하여 대상을
Vitality.
넘어뜨립니다. 이후
Knocks down the target by
단순의 칼날로 추가 피해를
combining
입힌 후
shock
방망이
strikes and
칼춤으로
ankle strikes,
적에게
dealing additional
강력한
damage
피해를
with the
입힙니다. 다음은 단검과 마법봉의 조합입니다. 은신의
Guillotine.
망토와 그림자 습격으로 적들의 진영으로 잠입하여
Put off the
마법봉의
other words.
치명적인 저주 스킬을 대상에게
Just gonna-
사용합니다. 그 후 악연의 연무로 주변 대상에게 저주를 전파하여 상대를 교란시킵니다. 이외에도 TL에는 다양한 무기들이 있으니
Like I said, it has
자신만의
like a lot of
무기
different
조합으로
like
모험을 즐기시-
from what I'm getting from this character is it's an assassin class, right? It has different special moves and stuff that can inflict additional damage, you know. Just like, a magician would do with water, fire, earth, but this is more like curses, poison, and all those kind of special moves. So it's kind of cool. You're going to be very agile, stealthy. This can be very potentially good in PvP because, you want to like sneak up on your enemy, or you want to like heal up real quick. Want to like strategically kind of like fall back and then come back behind them, stealth move. But you could easily just like go invis, right? Poke yourself and then teleport to them when you're ready. And then deal like massive damage. Right? And if you coordinate it right with somebody else, you can focus in on an enemy, get a couple people on top of him and kind of wipe him out. But yeah, it seems like all the moves, like there's a lot of moves. So that's a good thing and a bad thing, right? So hopefully people will enjoy the complication of all these different, and we'll be able to utilize them effectively during raids and all that.
시기 바랍니다.
Crossbow.
이번 영상에서는 석궁에 대해 알아보겠습니다. 석궁은 빠른 기동력과 빠른 공격 속도로
So fast
화려한
mobility,
전투를
fast attack
펼치는
speed.
추가 발사체와 연속 공격으로 상대방에게 쉴 틈 없이 공격을 퍼붓는 것이 특징입니다. 긴
So just
공격 사거리를 이용하여
projectiles,
지역의 구정차를 이용해 일방적으로
long
공격하는
range.
플레이도 가능합니다.
mid-range, you could
부르기는
say.
스태미나를 소모하여 적의 공격을 방어할 수 있는 스킬입니다.
So it has
공격을 방어하면
different
일정
roles
확률로 적을 밀어내고
that it could
대상의 벽에
use to get away from
충돌하면
enemy.
기절하게 됩니다. 이후 대상에게 피해를 주고 이동 속도를 감소시키는
You better stun
감속탄
them,
스킬로 전환되는데요.
use certain
이때 스킬을
projectiles
재사용하여 감속탄으로 공격하거나 다른 액티브 스킬을 사용할 수도 있습니다.
slow down
단
enemies,
액티브
stun
스킬을
them.
사용하면 감속탄은 적용되지 않고 해당 스킬의 부무기 공격이 반드시 발동합니다. 극한의 속사는 빠른 속도로 단일 대상에게 3회 연속 공격하는
So
스킬입니다.
there's extreme rapid fire.
도약은
obviously.
지정한 방향으로 이동하는
Target
기동
someone hit
스킬입니다.
multiple
이동 후
times.
짧은 시간 동안 스킬 1회 안에
Session.
공격 속도와 공격 거리가 증가합니다. 필멸의 표식은 대상을 지정하고 일정 시간 동안 추가 피해를 가하고 가한 피해를 축적하는 스킬인데요. 표식이 사라질 때 축적된 피해의 일부만큼 추가 피해를 입히는 스킬입니다. 다발 사격은 지정한 방향으로 범위 공격을 하는 스킬입니다. 일정 확률로 대상을 밀어내며 공격이 적중할 때마다 자신의 위치를 이동하는 기동 스킬의 재사용
Seems like a very
시간을
nice skill.
감소합니다. 무아의 침투는 자신에게 적용된 속박과 이동 속도 감소 효과를 모두 해제하는 스킬인데요. 사용 후 짧은 시간 동안 다른 몬스터 및 캐릭터와 충돌하지 않는 상태가 됩니다. 또한 기동 스킬의 이동 거리, 회피, 이동 속도가 증가하며 부무기 공격 확률이 증폭됩니다.
Oh, okay.
광풍의 가시는 일정 시간
Yellow
동안
buff.
발사체 공격 시 추가 발사체를 생성하는 스킬입니다. 만화 환원술은 생명력을 소모하여 만화를 일정량 회복하는 스킬입니다. 소모할 생명력이 부족하면 사용되지 않으니 참고하시기 바랍니다. 반동 사격은 재사용 시간마다 사용 횟수가 충전되는 공격 스킬입니다. 기동 스킬 사용 직후에 사용하면 더 큰 피해를 줄 수 있습니다. 무자비 난사는 경로를 지정하여 양손으로 화살을 난사하는 스킬입니다. 경로상 첫 번째 대상에게 피해를 주고 동일 대상을 연속해서
I like that even
공격할수록
better.
피해가 점차 증폭합니다.
That's a skill I
또한
like.
부무기 공격 확률에 따라 공격 횟수가 증가합니다. 바람 강탈자는 사용 시 피해를 입히며 이동 속도가 감소하는 세약 효과를 부여하는 스킬인데요. 세약 효과가 적중하면 자신의 이동 속도가 증가하고
like doing that
자신의
is
이동
gonna be like
속도를
very hard
감소시킨
to like
대상에게 추가로 세약
you
효과를
stun, slow them down, and you start
대상의
doing
공격
some
속도를
rapid
감소시키고
shots at them.
자신은 공격 속도가 증가합니다.
I think it's done deal.
픽슬롯에 등록만 해두면
Especially for like a
별도로
warrior
사용하지
class
않아도 상시
or
적용되는
like a melee
스킬입니다.
class.
석궁의 전투 스타일과 어울리는 효과들을 가지고 있습니다. 마지막으로 석궁과 어울리는 무기 조합을 두 가지 소개해드리겠습니다. 필멸의 표식으로 대상에게 가하는 피해량을 증폭시킵니다. 이후 광풍의 가시와 맹독주입으로 공격에 추가 효과를 부여하고 비수날리기로 원거리에서 이동 속도를 감소시킨 후 무자비 난사로 빠르게 공격합니다. 다음은 석궁과 장궁의 조합입니다. 장궁의 나락의 징표와 석궁의 필멸의 표식으로 대상에게 가하는 데미지를 증폭시키고 광풍의 가시를 활성화하여 추가 발사체를 생성합니다. 이어서 빠른 공격 속도로 약화된 적을 공격하며 먼 거리에서 적을 제압합니다. 이외에도 TL에는 다양한 무기들이 있으니 자신만의 무기 조합
With your own weapon combination. That seems to be the best one.
이번 영상에서는 지팡이에 대해 알아보겠습니다. 지팡이는 다양한 속성 공격과 강력한 광역 공격으로 많은 적들을 한 번에 제압할 수 있는 것이 특징인데요. 특히 서로 연계되는 속성 스킬을 활용하면 더욱 강력한 피해와 다양한 추가 효과들을 발동시킬 수 있습니다. 신비보호막은 스태미나를 소모하여 적의 공격을 방어할 수 있는 스킬입니다. 경로 공격을 방어하면 대상에게 반격하는데요. 대상이 착화 상태라면 추가 피해를 입히고 젖음 상태라면 대상 주변으로 지속 피해 영역을 생성합니다. 또한 흐르는 만화를 중첩하는데요. 흐르는 만화는 다음에 사용하는 스킬에 자동으로 추가 효과를 부여하는 스킬입니다. 사슬벼락은 대상에게 피해를 입히는 번개 스킬인데요. 자신이 적용한 착화 대상에게는 중첩당 추가 피해를 입히고 대상이 젖은 상태라면 주변 상대들에게 스킬이 전이됩니다. 연발불꽃탄은 피해를 입힘과 동시에 대상에게 지속 피해를 입히는 착화를 적용하는 화염 스킬입니다. 연발불꽃탄은 최대 3회까지 사용할 수 있습니다. 서리 연막제는 자신의 위치에 이동 속도를 감소시키는 영역을 생성하고 뒤로 순간 이동하는 기동 스킬입니다. 폭염의 파장은 대상의 반경 내 모든 적에게 피해를 입히는 화염 스킬입니다. 자신이 적용한 착화 대상에게 사용하면 중첩에 비례해 추가 피해를 주고 착화를 적용합니다. 내면의 평정은 일정 시간 만화 재생이 증가하는
Obviously,
스킬인데요.
different skills
자신이 젖음 상태라면
combine,
만화 재생 증가율이
increase
2배로 향상됩니다. 젖음
effectiveness and
상태가
another skill.
아니라면 스킬 종료 후 만화
So basically,
소모율이
combining different
일정
skills
수치
is gonna
증가합니다.
allow
빙결
other skills to get
무덤은
even better.
대상에게 피해를 주고 일정 시간 동결시키는 스킬입니다. 동결 대상 근처로 일정 확률로 잠시 동안 이동 속도가 감소하는 쇠약 효과를 부여합니다. 얼음창은 지정한 방향으로 관통하는 얼음창을 날려 피해를 입히는 스킬입니다. 피해를 입은 대상은 일정 확률로 이동 속도가 감소하는 쇠약 효과를 받습니다.
cool.
고도의 집중은 일정 시간 동안 스킬 재사용 속도, 이동 속도가 증가하는
Otherwise,
스킬입니다.
great.
심판의 넉내는 대상에게
Effects.
강력한 피해를 입히는 번개 스킬인데요. 대상이 젖음 상태라면
Get the lightning
반경 내
skill.
적들에게도 피해를 줍니다. 자신이 적용한
If they're
착화
wet, they get
대상에게
even more
사용하면
damage.
중첩에 비례하는 확률로 스킬을 추가 사용할 수 있습니다. 지옥불 운석은 범위를 지정하여 거대한
Obviously,
운석을
ability to
떨어뜨리는
stack
화염
if
스킬입니다.
doing certain
피해를 입은
things.
대상은 일정 확률로 밀어내고 운석이 떨어진
If they're weak
자리에
against
지속적으로 착화를 부여하는 영역을 생성합니다.
weather related or whatever.
활성 스킬은 퀵슬롯에 등록만 해두면 별도로 사용하지 않아도 상시 적용되는 스킬입니다. 지팡이의 전투 스타일과 어울리는 효과들을 가지고 있습니다. 마지막으로 지팡이와 어울리는 무기 조합을 두 가지 소개해드리겠습니다. 마법봉의 응징의 시간으로 스킬 피해 저항을 감소시킨 후 악몽의 수렁으로 수면을 적용합니다. 동시에 악연의 연무로 주변 대상들에게 전파시키고 지옥불 운석과 폭염의 파장으로 한 번에 제압할 수 있습니다.
I guess in the book and
다음은
the wand.
지팡이와 장궁의 조합입니다.
Oh no.
장궁의 나락의 증표로
That's
가는
a
피해를
longbow.
증폭시킨 후 결박 화살로 속박시킵니다. 그 후 지옥불 운석을 명중시킨 후 연발불꽃탄으로 착화를 중첩시킵니다.
Pretty
착화
cool.
중첩이
Fire
쌓인
arrows.
상태로 심판의 낭례를 사용하여 추가 사용 기회를 획득합니다. 이외에도 TL에는 다양한 무기들이 있으니 자신만의 무기 조합으로 모험을 즐기시기 바랍니다.
Obviously, yeah, you're free to do whatever you want. But the best ones, I guess, or the recommended.
이번 영상에서는 양손검에 대해 알아보겠습니다.
sword,
양손검은
yep.
막대한 피해를 입히는 연계 공격과 높은 체력을 겸비한
Enormous
공수
damage, high
이와
stamina,
동시에 강력한 광역 공격 스킬도
wide
보유하고
area
있어
attack.
적의 진영을 무너뜨리는 플레이가 가능합니다. 무쇠날 반격은
Iron blade
스태미나를
counterattack
소모하여
and consume
적의
stamina.
공격을 방어할 수 있는 스킬인데요. 만약 경로
It allows you
공격을
to defend against
강화한다면
enemy
피해와
attacks if
함께
you
일정
block a
확률로
half attack.
기절시킬 수 있습니다.
You'd be
그리고
stunned,
학살 발도술 스킬로
probably along with
전환되는데요.
damage, so
스킬을 재사용하여 범위 내 모든 적에게 공격을 가할 수 있습니다. 용맹한 난타는 대상에게
fast
연속
trash skill that
공격을
delivers
가하는
attacks to
스킬입니다.
the target.
반경 내에 다른 적이 있다면 공격을 분산하고 처음
And
지정한
if there's other
대상에게 더
enemies, it'll
강력한
attack them
피해를
too.
입힐 수 있습니다. 세게 돌지는 적과의 거리를 단숨에
Tank rush
좁힐
is
수
the ability
있는
that
기동
can be instantly
스킬인데요.
close.
양손검의
I
단점을
like that
보완할
rush.
수 있는 스킬이니
Fast
유용하게
rush.
사용하시기 바랍니다. 충격타는
The
일정
instant
확률로 적을
Run up on them.
기절시키는
Shock is
스킬입니다.
gonna stuns enemy.
기절은 전투에서 유리한 고지를 점할 수 있으니 상황에 따라 다양하게 활용하시기 바랍니다.
But yeah.
일격 필살은 단일 대상에게 큰 피해를 주며
Does great
기절과
damage to a single
속박, 수면
target.
대상에게는
Stun
적은
and
피해를 줄 수
binding.
있는 특징이 있습니다. 다빈치의 기백은
The Vinci
양손검의
Spirit
전투 보조
is a few
스킬로
sword combat
자신을 포함한
assist skill.
파티원들의 최대 생명력과
Increases the maximum
생명력 재생을
vitality and
증가시켜
vitality
전투
regeneration of party
지속력을
members, includes
상승시켜줍니다.
self, increasing combat
돼지
durability.
가리기는 모든 적을 공격하는
Takes full
논타의
attacks at all
강력
enemies and
스킬인데요.
has a wide range
스킬을
of effects.
사용하고 범위를 지정한 후
Does any use
클릭하여
skill
수선합니다.
specify the range and
선멸
click to
회오리는
cast it?
자신의 주변에 있는 모든 적을
Land
공격하는
Heat Tornado,
스킬인데요.
the skill that attacks
스킬
all enemies
발동
around
후에도
you.
자유롭게 이동하며
Its
사용할 수
characteristic
있다는
is
점이
that
특징입니다. 전의
moving
분쇄도
you freely
영역을
with that.
지정하여 모든 적을 공격하는 광역 스킬입니다. 공격당한
Anyways.
적들은 방어가 일정 수치 감소하는 디버프가 부여됩니다. 승천배기는 단일 대상에게 큰 피해를 입히는 스킬인데요. 기절, 속박, 수면
Like,
대상에게
they're really getting
사용하면
second target,
일정
is what
확률로
I'm
대상을 넘어뜨릴 수 있는
guessing. And then if you
스킬입니다.
talk multiple, the
단두대
damage
칼날은
gets
단일
dispersed.
대상에게 막대한 피해를
divided.
주는 강력한 스킬입니다. 특히 넘어진 대상에게는 그 피해가 극대화되는 특징을 가지고 있습니다. 활성 스킬은 퀵슬롯에 등록만 해두면 별도로 사용하지 않아도 상시 적용되는 스킬입니다. 양손검의 전투 스타일과 어울리는 효과들을 가지고 있습니다. 마지막으로 양손검과 어울리는 무기 조합을 두 가지 소개해드리겠습니다.
What they're showing you there too,
장검의
like at the very
서서히
end, like even though we don't know what they're saying, like what their words are, like we see the pictures and stuff, and those are the abilities you're supposed to have. And so, because like I'm guessing, like you know, in sandbox, right? So when you start off, the weapon that you choose, the abilities that you select from it, what makes your class. So it's not like you just go and say, I want to be wizard, click. And then it gives you the weapons you want and all the skills that you. No, you pick. I think you pick a weapon. Pick 2 weapons. That will show you all the skills that you can use with weapons. That will make it so that you're really good in that class, that weapon. That makes sense. That's how it works.
적을 끌어온 후 충격타로 적을 기절시킵니다. 이후 양손검의 승천배기와 단두대 칼날을 연계해 적을 쉽게 제압할 수 있습니다. 다음은 양손검과 장궁의 조합입니다. 장궁의 나락의 징표로 가하는 데미지를 증폭시키고 결박 화살을 사용해 먼 거리의 적을 속박시킵니다. 이후 양손검의 쐐기 돌진으로 순식간에 거리를 좁힌 후 상대를 제압할 수 있습니다. 이외에도 TL에는 다양한 무기들이 있으니 자신만의 무기 조합으로 모험을 즐기시기 바랍니다.
Wait, what were the combinations that you can use?
이 양손검의 승천배기와 단두대 칼날을 연계해 적을 쉽게 제압할 수 있습니다. 마지막으로 양손검과 어울리는 무기 조합을 2가지 소개해드리겠습니다. 장검의 사슬 갈고리 스킬로 적을 끌어온 후 충격타로 적을 기절시킵니다. 이후 양손검의 승천배기와 단두대 칼날을 연계해 적을 쉽게 제압할 수 있습니다. 다음은 양손검과 장궁의 조합입니다. 장궁의 나락의 징표로 가하는 데미지를 증폭시키고 결박 화살을 사용해 먼 거리의 적을 속박시킵니다. 양손검의 쐐기 돌진으로 순식간에 거리를 좁힌 후 상대를 제압할 수 있습니다. 이외에도 TL에는 다양한 무기들이 있으니 자신만의 무기 조합으로 모험을 즐기시기 바랍니다.
Alright.
이번 영상에서는 장검에 대해 알아보겠습니다.
I was thinking about either
다양한
sword and shield with the long sword,
바탕으로 유연한 전투를 펼치는 무기인데요.
sword and
도발
shield with
스킬로
the
적군의 공격으로부터 아군을 보호하고 적을 끌어오는 스킬과 밀어내는 스킬을 이용해 전장의 판도를 바꾸는 플레이가 가능합니다. 방패 생존술은 스태미나를 소모하여 적의 공격을 방어할 수 있는 스킬인데요. 완벽 방어에 성공하면 피해량 경감이 증가하고 경로 공격을 방어하면 생명력을 회복하고 스킬은 응수 타격으로 전환됩니다. 응수 타격을 사용하면 대상에게 방패 공격을 가합니다. 일격 방패는 대상을 1회 공격하는 스킬입니다. 방패의 방어 확률이 증가하면 근거리 강타 적중이 증가합니다. 단호한 돌격은 대상이 없어도 지정한 방향으로 돌진하는 스킬인데요. 돌진 경로에 대상이 있다면 일정 확률로 대상을 밀어내고 벽에 충돌 시 기절시킵니다. 반격의 방벽은 방패 방어 확률을 증가시켜주는 버프 스킬입니다. 활성화 시간 동안 공격을 회피하거나 방어에 성공하면 반격 피해를 줍니다. 사슬 갈고리는 대상을 자신의 앞으로 당겨오는 스킬인데요. 타겟형 스킬로 원하는 대상에게 사용이 가능하고 보스 몬스터에게 사용하면 당겨오지 않고 보스 위치로 이동하게 됩니다. 도발의 표현은 범인의 모든 적의 공격을 자신에게 사용하게 만드는 도발 스킬입니다. 방어 증가 버프 스킬을 먼저 사용하는 게 좋겠네요. 방패 투척은 지정한 방향으로 방패를 던져 모든 적을 공격하는 스킬입니다. 방패가 돌아오는 도중에 부딪혀도 피해를 입히고 방패를 회수할 때 적중한 대상 수에 따라 강타 적중이 증가합니다. 철옹성은 장검의 높은 생존력을 보여주는 버프형 스킬인데요. 사용 시 자신과 파티원의 피해량 경감이 크게 증가합니다. 전멸배기는 캐릭터 주변의 모든 적을 공격하는 스킬입니다. 최악 대상에게는 가하는 피해량이 증가합니다. 맹렬한 격돌은 방패로 적을 밀쳐내는 스킬인데요. 밀어낸 대상과 충돌한 대상에게도 피해를 입히며 밀어냅니다. 또한 대상이 벽에 충돌하면 기절합니다. 필승의 기회는 대상에게 강력한 피해를 입히는 스킬입니다. 일정 확률로 스킬을 재사용할 수 있는 특징이 있는데요. 주변에 쇠약 대상이 많을수록 재사용 확률이 증가합니다. 활성 스킬은 퀵슬롯에 등록만 해두면 별도로 사용하지 않아도 상시 적용되는 스킬입니다. 장검의 전투 스타일과 어울리는 효과들을 가지고 있습니다. 마지막으로 장검과 어울리는 무기 조합을 2가지 소개해드리겠습니다. 마법봉의 신속한 치유로 공격당하는 아군의 생명력을 회복시켜줍니다. 사슬 갈고리와 도발의 포효를 사용하여 적의 공격을 대신 받아내며 맹렬한 격돌로 멀리 밀어냅니다. 이후 클레이의 구원으로 자신과 파티원의 생명력을 추가로 회복하며 아군을 보호합니다. 다음은 장검과 양손검의 조합입니다. 장검의 사슬 갈고리 스킬로 적을 끌어온 후 충격하는 적을 기절시킵니다. 이후 양손검의 승천배기와 단두대 칼날을 연계해 적을 쉽게 제압할 수 있습니다. 이외에도 TL에는 다양한 무기들이 있으니 자신만의 무기 조합으로 모험을 즐기시기 바랍니다.
Makes the most sense. The longbow.
이번 영상에서는 장궁에 대해 알아보겠습니다. 장궁은 긴 사정거리와 속박 스킬, 그리고 파티원과 함께 공유하는 버프 스킬을 이용한 안정적인 전투가 특징인데요. 특히 지형의 고저차를 이용해 일방적으로 공격하는 플레이도 가능합니다. 역전의 기회는 스태미나를 소모하여 적의 공격을 방어할 수 있는 스킬인데요.
Once figured it out, I'll
경로
figure out the
공격을
moves I need to
방어하면
do for
치명타가
tank
대폭
healer.
증가하고 응징 사격 스킬로
And then
전환됩니다.
I'll be
제자리에서 응징
tank.
사격 사용 시 대상에게 거리에 비례한 공격을
I don't know.
가합니다. 방향키를 입력하여 사용 시 위치를 이동하고 일정
Tank
확률로
and then
대상에 속박하는 공격을 가합니다.
I guess I used to be a tank.
바람의 시위는 대상과 거리가 멀수록 피해가 증가하는 공격
Tank
스킬입니다.
DPS, I don't
장궁의
know.
긴 공격 사거리를
Because you have the
최대로
long sword
이용하여
with the
더
shield and sword.
강력한 피해를 줄 수 있습니다.
There's a lot of swords.
결박 화살은 먼 거리 대상을 속박시킬
I wonder if
수
that should be
있는
my first
스킬인데요.
character.
적의 접근을 방해하거나
My second
교전을
one
막을
should
수
be
있는 장궁의
healer.
핵심
I want to do
스킬입니다.
both of them kind of at the
핵심의
same time.
저격은 스킬을 캐스팅하여 강력한 일격을 발사하는 공격입니다.
I use them
대상에
whenever.
남은 생명력이 많을수록
But I do
치명타가
like the healing
증가하는
aspect.
특징을 가지고 있습니다.
It will help my
연발 폭격은
guild and
단일
stuff and
대상에게
raids
연속
and all
공격을
that.
가하는 스킬인데요. 공격 중 2번
PvP
이상의
and everything.
치명타로 적중하게 되면 스킬을 재사용할 수 있습니다. 자연의 은총은 시전자 중심으로 일정 거리 내에 자신을 포함한
know.
파티원들의 생명력 재생을 증가시키는 스킬입니다. 시전자 근처에
I would
있어야만
probably get
효과를
accepted to
받을
every
수 있습니다.
everything
맹폭 화살은
because like
영역을
you know
지정하고
everyone's
영역 내
probably
모든
gonna-
적을 공격하는
they're
스킬인데요.
probably gonna be a lot of tank
영역의
healers.
중심에 가까운 적들에게는 더 큰 피해를 입힐 수 있습니다.
Not
나락의
sure how many-
증표는 대상을 지정하고 그
There's gonna be a lot of
대상을
people doing
공격할 때
DPS
특별한
though.
효과를 받는 스킬인데요. 지목된 대상을 공격할 때 자신은 치명타와 명중이 모두 증가하고 파티원은 명중이 증가합니다. 또한 자신과 파티원의 공격이 치명타로 적중할 때마다 모든 스킬의 재사용 시간이 감소하는 특별한 효과도 가지고 있습니다. 정화의 손길은 지정한 대상에게 적용된 상태 이상 한 개를 해제하는 스킬입니다. 여러 개의 상태 이상이 적용 중이라면 정해진 순서에 따라 해제되고 해제 시 자신의 공격 속도가 잠시 동안 증가합니다. 소용돌이 화살은 지정한 방향으로 화살을 발사하는 스킬입니다. 처음 명중한 적에게 피해를 입히고 그 대상 주변으로 이동 속도를 감소시키는 영역을 생성하는데요. 잠시 후 영역 내 대상을 일정 확률로 영역의 중심으로 당겨옵니다. 속전속결은 마지막으로 사용한 스킬의 재사용
this isn't for the
시간을
test, so
소개하는
hopefully,
특별한 스킬입니다. 다른 무기의 스킬을 사용하고
can play the
속전속결을
game soon.
사용해도 동일하게 적용되니 정말 유용하게
You know,
사용할 수
other test.
있겠네요. 활성 스킬은 퀵슬롯에 등록만 해두면 별도로 사용하지 않아도 상시 적용되는 스킬입니다. 장궁의
The
전투
sign-up was
스타일과
still there,
어울리는
so
효과들을
guessing
가지고
they're still
있습니다.
accepting them.
마지막으로 장궁과 어울리는 무기 조합을 두 가지 소개해드리겠습니다. 장궁의 나락의 징표와 석궁의 필멸의 표식으로 대상에게 가하는 데미지를 증폭시키고 광풍의 가시를 활성화하여 추가 발사체를 생성합니다. 이어서 빠른 공격 속도로 약화된 적을 공격하며 먼 거리에서 적을 제압합니다. 다음은 장궁과 단검의 조합입니다. 장궁의 나락의 징표로 가하는 피해를 증폭시키고 맹독주입으로 공격에 독효과를 부여합니다. 속박 후 그림자 습격과 발목 타격, 광란의 칼춤을 연계하고 속전속결로 재사용 대기 시간을 초기화하여 적을 순식간에 제압할 수 있습니다. 이외에도 TL에는 다양한 무기들이 있으니 자신만의 무기 조합으로 모험을 즐기시기 바랍니다.
Um,
Unleash your inner pro with Professor.
how about
See
the
games
ads?
like never before. Get all the info
On producer of Throne in Liberty. There are so many things happening at once. It seems like we just introduced TL at G-Star stage last week, but now we're spending the whole day meeting in Pangyo. It's not too far. It's probably a sign that launch is just around the corner. It probably is. We will keep our sanity until the end and show you a perfect launch. Bold. Listen, I'm not much of an expert when it comes to running video games, but what I do know
is never in the history of any game release, major game release, specifically MMOs, has there ever been a perfect launch. This is the one thing you should not say.
Yeah.
What is it? 완벽한 론칭을 보여드리겠습니다. Yeah, this is a solid translation. After the G-Star stage demonstration, the development team is full of motivation. So many people gathered at the site and for the live broadcast. Thank you everyone for your time. I felt a little relieved to see that many people responded that the improvement results were acceptable. I've heard a lot of opinions that the boss's movement pattern is too small and it's easy to attack. Due to the nature of the stage demonstration, I chose a boss whose pattern strategy process was easy to see and understand, so I ended up with the result that seemed simple when I thought I was playing in earnest. I don't even know if I made it, excuse me. However, TL has bosses of various concepts, so you can stop worrying about movement patterns and difficulty. I'm confident that you will meet bosses that will challenge you. All right, pretty good. We will carefully review your feedback and repay you with better content. I hope you'll take this opportunity to show a lot of interest in TL's PvE.
That's what I like about so far what I've been hearing a lot of good things about the developers and everything. They do listen to the people, to the public, and they are taking a lot of consideration of what they're saying and everything. And I'm sure it has to do a lot with, all the bad feedback that they did receive and from the game initially, and I feel like they're making big 360. They're definitely being active and communicating and stuff. Obviously, very very good for us to know that at least if you do make a mistake, if things aren't perfect, at least you're trying to correct those mistakes. And the game doesn't have to be perfect. Definitely doesn't have to be a perfect launch, but it would be very nice. We can be able to play the game, enjoy it, and yeah, we're probably going to be expecting some bugs, some things that could be fixed, obviously. But at the end of the day, we're not looking for perfect. We're just looking for a game that we can have fun and because there's plenty of content for us to enjoy until the next patch or whatever. Yeah, it's just good to know that they are responding actively, sending letters, whatever going on.
We promise you fun in PvE. I think this is huge. I think PvE focus is extremely important for any MMO, even if it is a PvP focused MMO. PvE just always has a larger audience. The reason for posting today's letter is to reveal to you the official launch schedule of TL. We already told you through the showcase that the launch date is December 7th, and today we will tell you the time when you can meet TL. Throne and Liberty will be officially launching at 8 p.m. on December 7th. We actually gave you one hint about the launch time a few days ago. I started creating a character dictionary. I started creating character dictionary at 100 hours, 8 p.m. KR time. Recently, I have seen many cases where games symbolically open at 12 midnight when starting a new service, or select the early afternoon to ensure stable service in the evening. But TL chose dinner. When I thought about the best time to start TL, a PC game, 8 p.m. naturally came to mind. We decided to open at 8, a time when you can bring a drink and sit at your desk after work for the day, so that as many people as possible can start TL together. Look, all of this sounds great. All of this sounds fantastic, but I wish some other things were addressed. But yeah, okay, this also sounds extremely confident. This guy sounds extremely confident. We're gonna show you a perfect launch. I'm gonna start this shit at KR prime time. Like, holy shit, man.
I mean, yeah, that is something to note. I mean, if somebody's giving you all these promises and things like that, I mean, you kind of feel like, all right, there's something wrong. Gotta be something, right? And that's the only like logic that we can apply to it, because like, dude, we know in the history of all video games, there's never been a perfect launch. There's always been like, you know, a game that's been able to be molded over time, become some great iconic game, but it's never been perfect. No, by no means, no game has ever been perfect. But it'd be good to see what they done to the game and what they fixed and stuff because it seems like they've done like a lot of improvement. And regardless of what, the game's gonna feel like brand new. For those that did test it, yeah, there's still gonna be some issues. You know, hopefully it's not major enough to pull people.
To be fair, though, I don't think we had any issues during the pre-creation event, and that was at the same time, 8 p.m. Create your character, reserve your name, select your server. I didn't see any issues. For the way they were like minor issues, so technically it wasn't perfect, but like in the grand scheme of things, it went very, very well.
Yeah, they got their server, their name,
Pre-download of the
everything,
launch
character.
client will begin at 11 a.m. on December 4th, as it.
So that's what I was worried about, right? Is that everyone that's in Korea, I mean, yes, they're in their own server, whatever, so it won't really affect ours. But that's one of those worries, like, oh, you want to make sure you reserve your spot, your name, everything, where someone else happens to take. So it'd be great to know when this launch date is. The West can know it's their time to kind of start getting their characters ready, all that.
Is a game that has been in the works for a long time. The client capacity is quite large. We ask that you install in advance to start at 8 p.m. on launch day. Please participate in the character dictionary creation that is currently underway. The character dictionary creation is the character name, the pre-character creation system, event that they're doing right
now. That's what I'm saying, the name. And that's the most important part because for most people, it's if you can't get your name, it just frustrates. Makes you that much. Eventually, you'll find another name, but it won't be as good as the name you came up with.
Right now. The Silicium Pioneer package is also on sale. Of course, the core of this package is the decoration item. Lucent, Pass, Elixir, etc. are products that can be purchased individually even after launch, and this is an opportunity to collect your evaluation of the lineup of products that TL will mainly sell in the future, including Wild Transformation, clothing, army toys, social motion. I thought about it and composed it. I wonder if it would have been satisfactory composition. So we've already gone over what was actually in this package. And yes, a lot of it is cosmetic. Like you get an emote, you get a mount skin, essentially. That's what the Wild Transformation is, by the way. You get a skin, you get like that Western skin. However, I don't think the elixirs and stuff that you get is a problem. However, you do in fact get Lucent. 100% you do. 500 Lucent, in fact. And you also get these battle passes. You get the battle pass and the growth pass within this package. Okay, so there are certainly things that will give you sped up progression.
Yeah, so this right here, I did have questions about it because I did see this package, but I'm pretty sure like the West might want to hold off on buying this just because the game hasn't launched for us yet. We don't know when it's gonna launch, and let's say the game ended becoming not what you thought it would be. You may not want to buy it yet. And on top of it, I'm not sure how long the expiration on these are, how long they'll be in your mail, and even if you get it, will it even deliver? You know what I mean? So it will cause a lot of issues. Because I was thinking about buying it, and I was like, well, I want to see how the game releases first, see how the launch is. If a lot of people are playing it, obviously they're successful their launch, and then we'll probably know when we will participate in the hopefully far behind. Because they say early 2024. The only time it could be early is in the first 3-4 months, right? So it's definitely not going to be coming by holidays. It kind of sucks because it's like I hate being left behind. You know, that feeling of just left behind. You know, like the whole class is just, you know, like you like let's say like, you know, there's the whole class trip, but then you gotta stay behind or whatever because you did something last minute class trip. You know, you're gonna feel like damn, you're starting without us. You know, I really want a global launch. You know, a game that comes out in different country and can release for everybody, so everyone can enjoy it at the same time.
And the ability to swipe that is in this package. Now, I don't know the significance of 500 Lucent. I don't know. I don't know the significance of the Battle Pass and the Growth Pass, but I have heard word, okay, that some people do know what is in the Battle Pass or the original version of it. None of us know the final version of the Battle Pass. And from what I've heard from good old John Doe, is that there are absolutely items in the Battle Pass that speed up progression. Not to the extent of anything that's insane, where it's like, oh, I have to buy the Battle Pass, but there are certainly some stuff in there that makes it of value. Okay, that's about all I'll say on that topic. But again,
I mean, anything you pay for you should get your value for it, right? And they're definitely not gonna want to make us feel like if we look at the battle pass and we see there's nothing in there, no one's gonna want to buy it. However, if there are some goodies in there, some cosmetic things that will we can use to our character's advantage in the future, we're definitely gonna apply it. You know? That's just me. You know, like me personally, like if I see the battle pass, um, it's a game that I enjoy, I'm definitely gonna subscribe. You know, I'm not gonna be hesitant. You know, it's for me, it's just like if the game's already free to play, right? If the game's free to play and you're just paying a subscription every month, it's really not that bad, in my opinion. You know, but if you have to pay for the game and then pay for subscriptions every month, I can see where that could be a minor issue. You know, or major issue for some people, depending on your funds.
again, subject to change. No one has actually seen the Battle Pass and the Growth Pass for the current KR version. All right, no one has seen that, so we have no idea. So yeah, I like how he says this core of the package is this, but you know, he kind of leaves out the fact that you are getting the Battle Pass, the Growth Pass, and 500 Lucent in this as well, which is a massive part of the actual package. I am thrilled that many people can now show the world the TL they have been preparing for so long. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the development team for their hard work, and we hope that our efforts and sincerity will become pure game fun and reach players as well. It seems like only yesterday, that I wrote my first letter, but this is already my fifth letter, dated November 24th. Time is passing faster than ever in my life, I'd imagine. It will be launched in about 2 weeks. Until then, I sincerely hope that you can take care of your health, stay in top condition, and enjoy Throne and Liberty so we can take your money. I'm pretty sure in Korean it probably says so that we can take your money, but I'm not sure why Google Translate didn't translate that. Thank you for always supporting me despite my shortcomings. Posted by An Jung-ok. To be perfectly honest, I think that the pre-order package that they do have is very modern. I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, there's probably, you know, some items in there that will speed up progression. There's a little bit of cash up currency." Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that those items are in there. However, if you think about this, guys, compare this to the West, because it's funny how Eastern games are typically more predatory than Western games, right? But then you look at games like Diablo 4 and Lost Ark in the West, and a lot of, well, that's probably a bad example since Lost Ark is an Eastern game, but you guys get what I mean, right? A lot of these games in the West, look at what they're selling pre-launch. They're selling a bunch of different founder packs, and the highest founder pack always goes up to like $100 USD. Yes or no? Yes, right? At least 100. Like Diablo 4 was $70 for the base fucking game. It was $100, I think, for the ultimate pack, right? something like that, or maybe it was more. I think it was like $100. Given that, in comparison, okay, Throne and Liberty and KR is a completely free-to-play game, and the only thing that they're selling is this package right here, which also includes 500 cash up currency. It includes cosmetics, a skin, an emote, a title, a mount. I'm just going to call it that for people that don't understand. An avatar, a pet, a little chest of consumables, and it also includes a growth pass and battle pass. And they're selling it for $50 local. So this would be like if it came out in the West, it'd be like they're selling it for $50 US. This, if this converted to USD, is actually $35. I think like $35. It's like $35, $38 USD is how much this is. That right there is actually pretty fucking good. So like you could look at it from the perspective of, oh, you have battle passes. They're already selling battle passes, all that stuff. You know, they're really monetizing it. But the other perspective that I feel like you should also consider if you're a Westerner is if you compare this to our current launches, this is pretty fucking good because you could either play the game for free or pay $50 to play it. And that's going to include a battle pass. That's going to include the growth pass and a bunch of cosmetics and $500. So that's not that bad. So anyways, this right here, in my opinion, especially in our current day and age, is value. I think it's 100% fine. I think it's 100% worth it. I've never personally had issues with battle passes and growth passes to begin with. Okay. And the fact that you're including that for a $35 price tag, $50 local, right? Including cosmetics and no other package for a free-to-play game, I think this is a good start. I will also say that if you're complaining about this package, you're complaining about the wrong thing. You should be complaining about their auction house, not this. This is not bad. Auction house system, questionable. Very, very questionable, and that's being generous. For me, I'm reading this, and I'm looking at some of the feedback from the community, and I'm just like, man, I want to hear more about this crazy auction house system, marketplace system that you have. Like, excuse me, like what is going on here? You know what I mean? We'll talk about that like in another video, but you know, outside of that, I feel pretty good about this game so far, right? I'm excited to try it, but that is...
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited to try the game, but at the same time, like, I'm not like fully committed because obviously I haven't tried the game. I've only been seeing a few videos, but so far I've been liking some of the things I've seen, and you know, obviously I'm gonna get my hands on it and see.
Is like the biggest thing for me. That auction house, the Lucin, I don't know, man. It's just we're gonna have to play the game and see. We're gonna have to play the game and see. I'm not expecting this game to be free to play. I'm not expecting this game not to be pay to win. It absolutely is. If you're out there and you're thinking this game better not be pay to win, oh, you know, people are going to be disappointed when they find out it's pay to win. Oh, you're coping if you don't think it's going to be pay to win. Bro, no one thinks this game is not going to be pay to win. It will be pay to win. I think the people that are hopeful for this game are just hoping that it is not overly predatory. It is pay to win to a certain extent that allows free-to-play players to still enjoy the game, just like how people in the Blizzard community has accepted WoW in their pay-to-win systems, right? So I don't know. We're gonna have to see. This was posted earlier today, and we've got about a week and a half or so, almost just under 2 weeks, I believe, before the game launches in KR. I will be covering this game extensively. I will be getting to endgame, no-lifing this like crazy, and I will be putting out my own honest review on this game, just like how I do with every other MMO.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of content on. Oh, it's 5 months ago. Well, so you don't want to see that. I don't think I've seen his reaction on. This is 3 weeks ago. I don't know if. Why haven't I been seeing this content? Where have I
Someone
been?
once said that being a stranger in a strange land is a
30 seconds. Here we go. It's time, boys. All right, here we go. No shot. No shot.
All right, all right.
No shot. What? Dude, it was a countdown for a countdown. That's crazy, bro. It was a fucking countdown. Oh.
Quit then. We want to wait. We want to watch a countdown. Oh, it's only a minute.
안녕하세요.
I skipped a lot.
PD 안종욱입니다. 여러분은 지금 스론 앤 리버티의 세상에
There's no
도착하셨습니다.
subtitles.
이 세상은 크고
I'll provide some.
유기적으로 연결돼 있으며
Oh.
Never mind.
More than Lost Ark.
무한합니다.
More than Lost Ark.
PC로 구현한 MMO의 세상. 우리 월드를 한마디로 표현하는 문장입니다.
All right.
TL이 생각하는 PC MMORPG는 정해진 스토리가 아닌 자신만의 이야기를
Oh, I think I've seen
만들어낼
this
수
whole
있는
thing. Yeah.
자율성의 공간입니다. 우리는 TL의 플레이어들
Yeah. If he's gonna show the whole showcase and stuff, I've ever seen. That was gonna show us like some. Oh, like the top. After this, we'll look at some Pax Dei.
Game. You're not ready.
What's up, guys? Today I just want to make a quick video about Throne and Liberty and the top 3 meta picks that are going to be available for Throne and Liberty when the game launches, in my opinion, based on what I've seen and what I've played in the Korean beta. Now, I just want to stress, you do not have to listen to my advice here. If you just want to play a class, have a good time, and enjoy yourself, you don't give a damn about a meta or anything like that, feel free to play whatever class you like. This video is for the try-hard sweats who want to be number 1 and be as strong as possible when the game comes out. So if you care about, if you don't care about meta and just want to play the game and have a good time, this video isn't for you. But for those of my sweats out there who want to, have an advantage over everyone else who isn't a sweat, yeah, you're going to want to pay attention to this video. I have a lot of good information for you guys in this video because a lot of people are really misinterpreting this game and what's going to be, capable of these classes later on. We've only, gotten to level 30 and seen what's capable at level 30. We haven't seen the full end game.
I kind of want to see the meta class so I know what to avoid. And how to possibly beat them.
But I'm going to go over and
if
give you
possible.
guys a glimpse at what's possible in this game. So let's see here. So the next thing I want to discuss, just to make sure that we're all on the same page here, this game is very, very, very not forgiving. If you pick the wrong weapon at the start of the game, you're gonna have a hard time catching back up. They give you a lot of free skill points, a lot of free, hand-me-down things, like early game stuff like, hey, you're new to the game, here, use this to help level up your skill. And if you use all those free things up that they give you at the start of the game and the battle pass and all that stuff, you won't have it for your next weapon. So when you first start this game, you're gonna definitely want to know at least what your main weapon is. Maybe not the sub weapon, but at least what your main weapon is. That's the first thing. So I'm gonna go over what I think will be the best pairs of weapons, as well as I'll discuss what would be the best main weapons as well, that you can choose a different pair for it if my pair isn't what you want. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first pair I want to discuss is the third best pairing in the game. Everything under this pairing isn't going to be as viable as the top 3. Like, it's not even close. Like, the top 3 are kind of close, and then after that it just drops off completely. And the number one pairing is bow and crossbow. Now,
Kind of feeling.
let's go over why bow and crossbow is so good, because that's going to help you understand my reasoning as to why I say these things. So
all
the
the
first thing I
debuffs, the
want to discuss
buffs.
is stats. So there are stats in this game, Throne and Liberty, and these stats are called strength, dexterity, intelligence, and perception. Those are the only stats in the game. Strength gives you damage on greatsword and sword and shield, and also gives you defense as well as health. So it's a very good stat. It gives you a lot of stat points. Dexterity gives you crit and evasion, as well as damage on crossbow and daggers. Those are pretty good stat too. It just doesn't give HP. Intelligence gives you cooldown reduction and mana, as well as damage on your wand and the staff as well. And lastly, perception gives damage on bow only, and also gives you accuracy and increases the chance of landing a CC on all of your abilities. So as you can see, there's a pretty wide stat spread in this game. Also, after you reach 30 stat points, every stat point after that will cost 2 level ups to upgrade. So you'll only be using 1 point up to 30 points, and after that it will cost you 2 stat points to upgrade, which means the more you have in a stat, the more expensive it will get. And I'm assuming that once you get to 60 stat points, it will go to 3 to upgrade. So more than likely you're gonna have to choose a secondary stat anyways in this game to, you know, utilize the effectiveness of your stat points, because they will only cost 1 point instead of 2 up to level 30. So that's very important. So the stat points that you're going to want to allocate for this build, bow and crossbow, are going to be perception and dexterity, and that's pretty much it. Now that's going to be the stats that are going to make both of your weapons hit hard, and both of your weapons do damage, and they both play off of each other, because the perception is going to give you accuracy, and the dexterity is going to give you crit and crit chance and crit damage. So that's very good for a bow, and we're going to get into the reasoning for that right now. So the reason why these weapons work so well with one another, and I really want to let you guys understand that, is because of passives. Now, you may be familiar with passives from New World. If you've ever played New World before, you get 2 weapons on New World, and each weapon has their own passives. But in this game, the passives they work together. So even if the weapon is not out and you're using, let's say, your first weapon and your second weapon is put away, you still get the passives from your second weapon. So when you're deciding your pairing, you want to pick a weapon that has passives that make both of your weapons stronger, essentially. So this is why
Very interesting spreadsheet here. So obviously showing you all your skills, stuff like that. Weapon. Get sword and shield here. Get the strike shield, strike survival, and counter bait. Really good, because then you really know, okay, these are my abilities, and how can it best amount of damage or support. So you get their active ones that you have to actually passive. 6 passive, 7. Obviously,
longbow and crossbow are perfect for each other, because they have very good passives that help each other, and even skills that help each other. So an example I want to give you here is crossbow has an ability called Rapid Leap. And Rapid Leap increases range by 30% for 3 seconds as you rapidly move 4 meters in the input direction. It's basically just a small little dash. It's not really on its own that great. It's okay. It's not great though, but it's okay, right? So, but the reason what makes it great is the passive. So there's a passive called Nature's Power. Upon using a movement skill, the momentum increases damage bonus by 24 for 3 seconds. And you can see you can upgrade that to make the damage boost higher and the damage bonus higher. And it's a really strong skill. So what you can do is you can use Rapid Leap and then use nature get the passes from Nature's Power, and then use
it's releasing in December 7th just for Korea.
Decisive Sniping, which is one of the hardest hitting skills.
They said early 2024
amplifying the effect of
that they're gonna release the game for the West.
Skill, which is way stronger than any single crossbow skill, by using your crossbow pre-buffs. Also, if you use Deadly Marker first,
right now I'm just watching the video on top 3 minutes, talking about like how the crossbow and the longbow are like, it's like the top meta, you know. So if you want, obviously if you don't care about the meta builds, you know, really matter, but at least you can kind of get a sense of what people are probably gonna pick as a meta and what to avoid. But I figured crossbow and longbow were because the crossbow obviously it shoots like a machine, and then if you got a longbow as well, I mean they each other skills, so damage, crit, and all make you even powerful.
Each successful critical hit landed will decrease your cooldown by 3%, which is pretty good as well. And Binding Arrow, if you bind the target first, then you have a passive in your longbow tree that it fix this one. Yeah, so it increases the critical hit by 100 whenever you attack a target with bind. So now you would use Binding Arrow first, which has a chance to bind, but whether it does or doesn't, you still use it. Then let's say it binded them. Then you swap the crossbow by using the ability Rapid Leap, and then that will give you the passive of Nature's Power. And then you swap back to your bow and use Decisive Sniping, and you will do massive damage with that combo. So this is what I mean. This is the kind of stuff that I want you guys to understand. This is what makes this build so strong, because crossbow and bow play together so well. And their passives are very good. Crushing Shot is also another one, and that gives you Enfeeble and decreases all defense by 120 for 12 seconds. You would use this first, and then Binding Arrow, and then Rapid Leap, and then you get the passive from Nature Power, and then Decisive Sniping. So you get even more, and so on and so forth. What's more is just the passives, the non-active skills help each other. So for example, crossbows Eagle Vision, which is a very good skill. It's way stronger than any passive that you don't have to actually use any skills for. Increases your range hit by 3 per 1 meter of distance, and you can raise it and it goes up.
There's one thing that is gonna have to be addressed, obviously. Start playing PvP stuff and seeing which classes are more overpowered than the other. How to balance it out better.
This is at green, so once you get it to gold, who knows? I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be like 20 range hit once you get it to max level per meter. So if you're 15 meters away, like that's a lot of damage from range, and especially when you look at all the extra passives. Upon attack, Enfeeble chance increased by 12.5. So you have a chance to increase your Enfeeble chance for every meter away. This skill is insane, but only crossbow has it. So you wouldn't have this skill if you have a bow. You'd be missing it. If you just have a bow and not a crossbow, like bow dagger or something like that, you'd be missing it. Crucial chance decreases skill cooldowns by 8 seconds upon afflicting Enfeeble. We already went over how strong nature power is.
Don't care too much about the
Manual and then
crossbow and
piercing
longbow
talon.
too much, but it's good for
Increase
other people.
all critical hit by
Hear
130.
about
It's
it.
just a flat out critical hit increase. So all of these abilities, this one is only for ranged hit. So this only works for longbow, basically. And then the rest of these, this ability only works if you have a crossbow out, but I guess it works for anything. And then we go to longbow passives, mortal target. We already went over that for the bind. Skillful aim, while it deals bonus damage of 34% every time you land a 6 hit of a target. That's also really, really good with crossbow because you have two auto attacks, so you're gonna 2 weapons, so you're gonna be hitting way more frequently. Sniper sense, increase critical hit by 8 per 1 meter from the target. Another ranged ability, another ranged passive that's very, very strong. So the further RUA, the stronger you're going to be. Merciless string. That's more for bow itself.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna avoid the crossbow and bow
on each other, and these abilities play on each other so well that that's what makes bow and crossbow the third best build I'd say in the game, or maybe even second best. It's kind of a tie between third and second. It's not that big of a gap.
The third? Oh, okay. Plays at the
There is
first.
kind of a gap for first place. Okay, so let's go into second place now. So second place is wand, tome, and staff. Now the great thing about this is in this game you can be
Wand,
a
tome, and
healer
staff.
and a DPS and you don't lose any damage unlike most games.
Oh, damn.
Healers and mages are very, very strong in this game. They have a lot of CCs and a lot of abilities that are hard CCs like the sleep that really will change the tide of battle. And not only that, you
Looks
you
at
get
a
to
white
heal.
mode.
And healing is very, very strong in this game because you only get a potion that's one single potion that's active on as you see he just used it for 59 seconds. So after that you have no other form of healing or major healing other than your skills. So it's very important to have a healer in your group, and people saying that healers won't be important are just not understanding the game, and they're going to be very, very important. So for it's pretty much the same thing with wand and staff, that the abilities just play into each other. A lot of the passives, a lot of the buffs, a lot of the debuffs, they all make each other stronger, and they both scale off intelligence. So you can just go full intelligence and even ignore the cap thing that I was talking about, the 30-point cap, if you wanted to, and just take the hit and just go straight intelligence. Or you could do intelligence and dex to get the crit. What we don't know yet, at least what I don't know yet, is if there is a such thing as magical crit or healing crit. I should say there is a magical crit. I'm sorry, healing crit. If there's a healing crit in this game, then maybe it might be worth it to go into dex so you can get some healing, or maybe it might be worth it to go in strength so you can get some more defense and HP for a secondary stat, or maybe perception if you need more accuracy. But you definitely just want to mainly put in intelligence. If you just pure DPS, it's probably going to be mostly intelligence for this build. But again, we don't know that. It's going to be easy to reset your stats. It won't be easy to reset your weapons. It won't be easy to reroll weapons. It takes a lot of investment in weapons and skills where you're not going to want to start over in this game, at least not anywhere in the first 3 or 4 months of the game being out, from what I could tell. But either way, wand, tome, and staff are a very good build. Crossbow are a very good build, and those are both range, right? Everyone thinks range is going to be the king of this game because range characters just can't be caught and all this. I'm going to shut all that down right now. I'm going to show you the best build, the singular best build that's going to be in this game, and that's going to be Great Sword and Dagger. Now, why Great Sword and Dagger do I say
Wait, what?
the best build? Well, first of all, Great Sword on its own is the singular best weapon in the game. Why do I say this? Because it has the best passives and it has the best abilities. And it scales off of strength, which is the best stat in my opinion, because it gives you health, defense, and damage. No other stat gives you all 3 of those. They either give you defense and damage or just damage. This gives you defense and damage, which is just incredibly ridiculous. And health, health too. So Great Sword's passive, the first one, Tenacious Body, increases max health by 300 at green. Once you get it to epic, it's an extra 500. Get more health regen, and then by the time you get it to gold, you're looking at like I'm really bad at math, but it goes up 100 per level. And there's, let's see, green,
100.
purple gold. So there's 4 levels. So if it goes up 100 per level, and there's 5 levels each one, that's 20. So yeah, you're getting 2,000, well over 2,000, maybe 3,000 HP just from this, and it is active.
Sword and shield and
whatever weapon
great
you
sword
put
are
on.
the good combo
You
together.
understand that most archers will have in ranged characters at level 30. Like for example, this guy, look how much HP he has. 2,300. He's level 26. So yeah, you're gonna have more HP from a level 36 character than a level 36 character does if you took all your gear off just because of this passive. It's ridiculous. And then you have vigorous spirit. Enables weapons attack when melee hit based on your health. So the more health you have, the more damage you do. Just come on, it's ridiculous. You literally you have the most health in the game, then you get a passive that makes more health, give you more damage. And so basically, you're being rewarded for being more tanky with damage. Cold Warrior increases critical hit by 240 against stun target, and we're gonna go into that because Greatsword has tons of stuns. Victor's morale. Successfully landing a skill gives you mana back, which is just nice to have, and that's good for both weapons. Whenever you stun a target, you get rage, increase damage by 65%, and you can upgrade it. Go up to, looks like it can go up to well over 100% once you get it to the max level, and all defense increased by 30 per rage stacks, and you get 5 rage stacks, so that's 150 defense. That's a whole item. Barbarian's dash. Upon movement skill, your stride becomes more resolute, increasing movement speed by 26% for 3 seconds, and it can be upgraded to almost 40%. And if you apply enfeeble to the target to affect their movement speed, if you land a movement skill, they lose 15% movement speed, and you get the said school's cooldown by 25% if you land a movement skill. And the movement skill that Greatsword had can only be used, it can only be landed. It's not like you could just use it and miss. So pretty much you're getting a 25% flat cooldown on your gap closure skill. And that's the crazy part about Greatsword that people don't understand is acute dash is OP. Now it starts off kind of weak, right? 24-second cooldown. And you only use it once, but look at the rare level. Once you upgrade it to blue, it could charge 2 times. Once you upgrade it to legendary, it could charge 3 times. And by the time you've upgraded it to legendary, it will have the cooldown decreased down to around 9 seconds, give or take, if my math is off. So you have a 9 second dash cooldown that has 3 charges on it. And you also have Barbarian's Dash passive. Every time you use it, it's going to decrease the cooldown by 25%. So it's even less than 9 seconds. It's like 6 or 7 second cooldown. Every time you dash, every time you land, every time you want to use dash. It is ridiculous. No one's ever going to be able to escape from you, ever. It's just not going to happen because you have unlimited dashes. But that's not it, because even if for some reason you run out of dashes for a second on Greatsword, Dagger has a dash too. Dagger has a shadow strike. It's a 24-second cooldown, but once you level it up some more, it'll go down to probably around 10 seconds as well after you get it to max level. And so you have 4 dashes with this build. It is ridiculous, and you still get the passive from Barbarian's Dash on that one too. It's ridiculous. No one is ever going to be able to get away from you. And then you also have the Greatsword Iron Point Parry. Every time you land a successful block of a flurry attack, a melee flurry attack, which is only certain skills have that, you have a 45% chance to stun. Just on your parry, a 45% chance to stun a target. Just a free stun, just for parrying, just for playing the game properly, a free potential stun. Not only that, but you also have just a flat stun that can just be used at any time. Stunning blow. And it's just every 18 seconds you just have a free stun as well. Like what? And then intensive strike attack. My bad. And destroying tornado, not really that great for PvP, but it's good for PvP. Vinci Spirit, when you use it, it continues to restore 8% of the accumulated damage every second over 8 seconds. So you use this before you start a fight, you're just going to be healing the whole time. And once you get legendary, all CC resistance increased by 500 while taking damage, which is the only time you're going to get, other than a sleep, I guess. This build is just broken. Greatsword is just a broken on its own. Literally on its own, it's broken. But then you have daggers. And daggers come in. I already talked about how daggers give you more mobility, but they're also going to give you a lot more utility and more damage. Here you go, right here. Just free melee hits. Free melee hit increase, base damage increase, just free. Just upgrade this and just get free melee hit. Just damage, just flat damage on melee. Just broken, right? Abundant poison. Whenever you poison someone, I mean that doesn't really affect greatsword, but nice, I guess. And then Shadow Walker, after using the movement skill, causes the area to resonate with shadows, increasing range, evasion, and magic evasion by 240 for 6 seconds. And remember, you have four movement skills. This is going to be up at all times. 360, once you upgrade it, 360 evasion and the gold, who knows how much it is. Damage reduction increase, and you have a chance to silence as well. Silence chance goes up, but you can use there's a lot of skills that silence with dagger. You get this just for free, just for using your dashes, which you're going to use them anyways. Vicious Strings increases critical hit by poison targets. Yes, so you poison them with the dagger to open up, and then you just fucking beat their fucking ass with greatsword, and you get a crit hit by poison targets increased by 260. And once you upgrade it, it goes way up more, and then legendary is an additional critical hit by another 120. Insane. These passives are insane. Like these weapons play together so well, it's ridiculous. Furious Edge, just increase skill critical damage by 13%. Just a flat skill critical damage by 13%. Dagger has a lot of good damage passives as well, but this one is only good for melee. So it's either only good for greatsword or sword and shield, and greatsword is way stronger than sword and shield. Trust me. So yeah, I'm pretty sure greatsword and dagger is going to be the objectively best build in the game. It's just no way that you're ever going to beat one of these guys. If you ever 1v1 a greatsword dagger user who knows how to play the game and is at decent gear and level difference from you, you're gonna lose. You're not playing that build, you're going to lose. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to lose. It's just a fact. Other than that, every other build, longbow, crossbow, wand and staff, those two can, they can fight each other. That you don't. It's going to be skill based and who counters better type of thing in a 1v1 scenario, because they're both range. So longbow can utilize the range, but wand and tome don't really have damage bonus for being at range. Longbow and crossbow does, which makes longbow and crossbow objectively weak against melees, because melees, you pretty much lower the damage that longbow and crossbow are capable of doing if you just get in melee range, which you will be doing with
played PAX Day, and I figured I'd. So Carnage played PAX Day, and I figured I'd. I'd watch his video about it.
Go here with a very quick,
That's
brief,
a nice,
early alpha
nice
thoughts
jacket.
video on PAX Day. I've been getting this question a lot lately. And now that I've spent a couple hours with the game and also read a lot more information on it, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an insight into what I'm thinking about this game.
Yeah.
So PAX Day is, in their own words, a social sandbox MMO with a focus on crafting and building things collectively.
Yeah.
It just recently had an alpha that's open.
That's
It's
nice.
actually still going on at the time of this video. And what the alpha is a look at some of the base mechanics surrounding the crafting and building systems.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what works. The game is beautiful. It runs pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
The crafting and building system looks relatively in depth. There's a lot.
I would agree with all of that. I hope that they add more things that you can make with crafting, but I think that's probably something that they'll just continue doing even after release. They'll add new flooring or they'll add a new door. Same as like Valheim did this, right?
To doing it. There's a full skill system as well. And there is clearly a lot of potential to make some very cool organic looking structures, not only as a solo player, but also with some cool mechanics tying into the larger scale clan stuff. You can join your claims together, make large village kind of structure things.
Right.
All of that looks good. All of that works. And frankly, it even in alpha, it is at an impressive level of quality for what it is.
I agree. I think that it looks great. Like I would like to see some degree of like maybe fine tuning on some of the textures here so they look a little bit better, but overall, yeah.
That being said, it is as of now a relatively generic crafting building game. Now it's in the alpha, so we don't really have that kind of flavor stuff yet, but as somebody who's been playing games for 10 years, I have seen a lot of games come along that have cool building systems. They're pretty, they run pretty well, and each of them have kind of the flavor that sets them apart. And in the alpha for PAX Day, we don't really see that yet. That being said, one of the things we spent at the last bit of our PAX Day stream doing is reading over what's coming and their plans for the game. And if they're able to implement everything they're wanting to do, like large-scale people.
I think also a big factor with this is the fact that the game is supposed to be relatively low fantasy. So we're probably not going to see mage portals and, you know, like a Tesla coil that zaps people that come into your base and all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't think you're going to see massive, like, high fantasy systems like the Tower of Sauron, for example. Now, I don't think that sucks at all. I'm actually not against that. I think that actually having things that are low fantasy work in a completely different way. Like, I'll give you an example. I think Rust is extremely low fantasy, and it's one of the best games ever. It's so good. Now, obviously, this is a totally different game than Rust, but fundamentally, I don't think low fantasy is bad. The Witcher, sort of. Does gunplay? Yeah.
PvP, very cool, extensive crafting stuff involving, you know, raids and PvE stuff far off on the map in dangerous territories. They're having this whole kind of gear system that they're planning on putting different abilities on different pieces, and that kind of makes your class and a trinity system.
Yeah.
They have some really big plans for this game that are not in the alpha, so I was not able to check them. But if they actually get all that stuff in the game on top of this pretty damn decent crafting building system, this game could be very, very something that we could spend a lot of time in potentially as a community if all these things kind of come together in a way that works and works well. So
the concern that I have for this game is that how do you incentivize and get people to keep playing like 2 months into the game? Because everybody logs on day one, everybody builds their base, it's super fun for like 2 or 3 weeks, but like what is the end game loop that keeps people playing and keeps them engaged with the game? And that's my main concern with PAX Day, is the long-term, like the long-term health of the game, because I don't think that you can have, I don't think PvP works that way. I don't, because if you have a tranquil PvE build game, which is what people like a lot of people are going to play it for that, you're not going to get a tranquil PvE builder to go do PvP. It just doesn't happen. Like, they don't want to play that kind of a game, and you shouldn't make them play that kind of a game. So server wipes like Rust, yeah, exactly. Disagree, look at Ark. Well, I don't know. I mean, how many people play Ark? It's a terrible game in like 50 different ways. I don't know why anybody plays that.
The TLDR, the PAX Day Alpha, is a solid glimpse at some of the foundational mechanics this game has to offer.
Yeah.
But it does not have the stuff that's going to potentially make this game be something really special when it's done.
Well, it doesn't have, right now it has a great experience for people that are first going to start playing it. And like, this is an alpha, so like it makes sense that they're not going to have like the entire end game loop fleshed out at this point. But I think that's really the problem. And I think that like, I don't want to have PAX Day run into the same problem that New World did, that the very beginning of the game is great. Like, the best part of New World, in my opinion, is your first 20 to 30 levels. And even on release, it was like that. I think on release, it was more like that. The end game has improved since then. But like back then, dude, how many of you guys played New World and on your first day, you were like, this is the best game ever. This is so fun. And you play that, and it was super fucking enjoyable. You love it. And then maybe a couple of days later, you're just doing the same stuff. You were hooked. Yeah, exactly, right? And then after like a few weeks, maybe you get to 60, you get to 47, and it's the same stuff over and over. And then it kind of loses its interest. Now, I will say a game that they should definitely look at how this game works on its end game and how it kind of grows and how it's good is Valheim. I think Valheim does progression incredibly well. And Valheim in general it's an incredible, amazing game. Like, I've played all the way through Valheim, like 2.5 times, basically. Allow for custom servers. I'm not really a fan of custom servers, personally.
So am I optimistic about this product? Absolutely. I'm very optimistic about
stream it. I did.
PAX Day. They've shown that they can build, some really cool parts of it, and that's great. Am I totally sure this game's going to be amazing? Not yet, because I have not yet seen all the stuff that I feel is really going to make this game find its voice.
Yeah.
And frankly, I do have to say, though, it does make me optimistic they will be able to do it. But yeah.
Everything about the game so far has made me optimistic. What the developers have said about the game has made me optimistic. The alpha has made me optimistic. Pretty much everything has made me happy about the game so far. So yeah, I don't have anything negative to say, but obviously, like, I'm saying that in the context of it being an alpha. I know that it is an alpha, so that's why I'm optimistic about it. Like, it's because I know that it will probably be better in time, excuse me.
That's kind of where we are right now. So, PAX Day, coming along nicely. Alpha's very solid.
Yeah.
They have plans for the big stuff, but we're not quite there yet. I hope to be making another video like this in the future during their next big alpha or beta, talking about all the stuff that we just read about.
Like, a big concern that I have, I was actually talking to somebody about this, is that Unreal 5, I don't think does very good combat. I don't think it does. And a lot of the Unreal 5 games, I don't think they're really that good. It's clunky. That's not an engine thing. I don't know. I mean, isn't it weird, though, that, like, every Unreal 5 game or Unreal game, like, has this problem? And I think that the only one that's exception, yeah, somebody said it in chat, is Remnant. Liza P, I think Liza P is very good, but there's something about it, like, the combat doesn't feel as good as any of the Dark Souls games. Fortnite? I don't think Fortnite has, like, I'm talking about, like, melee combat. That's a dev problem? You guys think so? You guys think it's a dev problem and not to worry about Unreal? All right.
Game and being tested and being awesome. But until then,
I hope you're right.
We're gonna keep things contained and say that it's still cooking, but it smells pretty good.
There it is.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. That is what we think of PAX Day.
That's a really good way to say it.
Expect more as we follow this project into the future. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I totally agree. I agree with everything pretty much that he said. I think that it's very promising. Obviously, you know, there's some concerns about endgame, but overall, yes, great. I'll read some of the comments here from people. Unreal is for a shooter first. Yeah, Remnant 2 is amazing. Armored Core 6 getting seamless co-op. Will you play it with someone else? Oh, maybe. Yeah, that could be fun. I didn't even know that. Because Unreal 5 is also new. People invest too much into the graphics. Oh, so you think that because people are using it as kind of a... Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Wasn't Terra made with Unreal? Yeah, but Terra was like 10 years old. I wouldn't really use the same framework for that. Unreal's extremely versatile. All right. Well, let's hope that I'm wrong. And it's just like, you know, some vibe check that I have that's a little bit off. We'll see what happens, but yeah.
Oh, shoot, my mic was...
Check out the new MMOrpg pack. I got to check out the new MMOrpg PAX Day while it was still in early alpha, and today I am sharing with you guys my experiences playing the game for the very first time. From exploring the open world, crafting my first small settlement, interacting with the community, in theory, could I attack his land? To waging war against bears and delving deep beneath the earth. This is PAX Day, everybody, a new MMO that is going to shake the market to its core. But before I share with you guys my experiences, though, I would like to thank PAX Day for giving me the opportunity to check out their game early and sponsoring this video here on Nixium. Let's dive in. First of all, what even is PAX Day? This is an MMO set within a world that essentially has been left to ruin and to evil. The Divine, who for generations blessed the world with prophets, emissaries, redeemers, and saints, has suddenly gone silent, leaving an evil to stir within the world that has slowly crept to the surface, corrupting it, and brought about a ruin to civilization. And now you, dear player, you are tasked with rebuilding the world from the ashes, waging war against the darkness, and doing it all in a completely sandbox MMO fashion. I want you guys to think about your favorite survival crafting game, Valheim, Minecraft, whatever. Now put that game 100% online as an MMO. You can probably already get an idea for why so many people are excited for this game. My experiences, of course, began with creating my character, and I found a creation tool that was in-depth, but I regret I was not able to capture my hairstyle exactly. I was sad, but you know, at least I could give my guy a proper beard. It's no shave November, I mean, come on. Looking beautiful, I chose for myself a place to begin my adventure. Obviously, I had to choose the Shire, being the giant Lord of the Rings nerd that I am. And suddenly, oh my goodness, what the all right. And so there I was, everybody, a homeless-looking man lost in a large and unforgiving world, picking up rocks, attempting to punch trees to collect wood, and role-playing as Bear Grylls to get more immersed into the moment. My name's Bear Grylls, and we need to make our way into the forest to find some shelter. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but the UI was simple to understand, the graphics looked amazing, but soon enough, I was crafting for myself my first axe to fell this dark forest that I had found myself within. You gotta be kidding me.